On a stormy Friday night, November 17, 1911, on the campus of Howard University, 3 undergraduate students felt that they needed to put together a plan to go about filling a void that was alive and well at the time on the Howard campus university and also in the Washington, D.C. metro area. With the help of their faculty advisor, Dr. Ernest Edward Just, these 3 men, Dr. Oscar J. Cooper, Professor Frank Coleman, Bishop Edgar A. Love, held a meeting in Science Hall, which is now ironically known as Thurkield Hall. Through frustrations, edits, and revamps, they came up with the fraternity's motto, first and foremost, which is friendship is essential to the soul. This exemplified the spirits of these 3 young men at the time, and also the spirits of every Omega man that you'll encounter in life. What was also established at this meeting was the 4 cardinal principles: manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and uplift. You're a man first, regardless. You strip any male of his titles, and that's all he has is his word and his bond. Scholar, you should be constantly looking to cultivate your garden. Perseverance, every man should strive to persevere through the worst of times. It's not how you are at your highest point, but how you are at your lowest point that determines your character. And also uplift. We should be constantly striving to uplift our communities. And if you're not where you feel that you should be at in life, you should lift as you climb. These are the blueprints, the foundations. These are the templates for an Omega man. And in my perspective, every great man, period.
Our fraternity is deeply rooted as friends. We're friends who conduct business. The motto of our fraternity is friendship is essential to the soul. Each man I could call on, if my car is broke, I could call him. In the same token, if I need some community service done, he'll be right there. These are my true brothers. It doesn't matter what year we cross, we're all as one. And I love Omega Psi Phi. I couldn't imagine not being in it.
Omega Psi Phi means the word to me. I've been growing up around it. My father and my uncle both are Qs, so I definitely wanted to be one. I remember me going to school freshman year and seeing the Qs. It seemed like they had the best of both worlds. They both were hopping around at the parties and then handling business also. I remember Ramey was the SGA president, Charles Bonnie was the treasurer, Uche Bird was on the e-board of Nesby. So, of course I had to be a Omega also.
I'm happy to be a part of this tremendous organization that I'm a part of. It's done so much in my life. It helped me through school. It also have helped me to better myself in ways that I ever thought that I would. It has blessed me to be a part of something that I can learn brotherhood, have people around me that I really love and really care for. My uncle was a part of this organization. He taught me and he molded me into becoming what he wanted to be and what he aspired to be. And I also want to inspire myself to be just as good of a person as he was.
I never thought I'd be a member of this organization. I've been small my whole life. I thought I wasn't big enough to fill these shoes of big men. My brother was part of the organization, my father, my uncle, and my grandfather, who's also Psi Chapter 53. And I never thought it was something I could do, but the 3rd cardinal principle was perseverance, and that's what I did. I stayed to it. My freshman year, I seen them doing positive things on campus. I knew this was something I wanted to be a part of. I'm also currently the Hop Master of this year, and it's very important to uphold tradition as we go into these step shows. Most people conform to new ideas such as dancing and involving music. It's something that we can't do as members of Omega Psi Phi.
Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Being a biology major, therefore a scientist, I know a little bit about the way energy works in the universe. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated has given me a broader and wider outlook on the nature of these things. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. And I believe that a lot of times people could tell you that you can and cannot do certain things. You can choose to internalize this energy or transfer it, reciprocate it, use it as fuel and motivation. And that's what I believe our founders did when they were first told that it would not be a fraternity incorporated on Howard University's campus. Perseverance, basically, one of our cardinal principles, the 3rd one, is what was being exemplified by them. And I believe that through tradition, is held strong and is also a characteristic of every Omega man that you'll encounter today. In terms of community service, I believe that we create rippling effects in the Greensboro area. It does my heart good to be in the mall or in a restaurant and get approached by some of the young men that I used to do the lunch party program for, some of the men that I may have done community service step show for. It's just things that I've naturally wanted to do. Is just that Omega Psi Phi is giving me an outlet, giving me options in terms of ways of going about doing these things. It's all about giving back to the community, uplifting, and it's a beautiful thing.
Omega Psi Phi is dear to my heart, and the reason it's dear to my heart is when I was growing up and the situations I've been in, the men that have been around me happened to be in fraternities, but the ideal man was the Omega man, who were coaches, who were teachers, who were principals that spent that extra time with the young men in the class. And I had men in my life from church, but the Omega men that was in the area in Southside Chicago would take their own time and come spend extra time and extra money. And I always wonder why these men would do such things. But as I grew up and I became a senior, they took me under their wings and they explained some things to me. And one of them was Reuben Jones. He was the treasurer for the school, the Chicago Public School, Lynn Bloom High School. And he told me that, one of the dearest things that, that's right under motherhood is brotherhood. And he said that when you live and you go, you're gonna need friends. And his goal in life is to live as he climbs. And that's one of the things that I could say that when I see Omega men, they don't just make it, they go back and lift everybody up. They don't go just become presidents and principals or doctors and they forget their roots. You come back to homecoming at any university, it's a wonder why you see so many Omegas or you see them at the step show sitting together, because they truly believe friendship is essential to the soul. And with that being said, that's our motto. But when our history come, we always been guys who rebels and kicked in doors. At Howard University, we sort of didn't get approved the first time to be a national fraternity, but it didn't stop there. And since that day, even here in North Carolina A&T, Walmart T. Gibbs was one of the people who was a president at the university at the time that we had the A&T for in 1960. He didn't necessarily reject them and tell them they couldn't do it. And he didn't support them all the way due to the fact that he was the president of a state university. But he didn't stand in the way and be a hindrance to them. Matter of fact, he was quoted to say, I didn't teach them what to think, we teach them how to think. And that's one of the things I could say Omega does. It don't teach you that you better do this, you dress like this. It teach you why. It don't tell you 1 + 1 = 2. It tell you why 1 + 1 = 2. And it teach you how to be a better man. And that's why our principles are manhood, scholarship, perseverance, uplift. We believe that in order for you to succeed in this world, you're gonna need each other. And we gotta be men first before we do anything. And as an undergraduate, and I am the co-advisor, and I'm a graduate student, but as an undergraduate, we definitely believe that you need to put scholarship first. Manhood is gonna come, and before you become an Omega, you will be a man. We don't accept no boys.